Alright, here's your homework on arithmetic sequences. So, can you find the common difference? So that means you recognize what are you adding or subtracting every time. So in this case it's negative 9. And then find the next four terms. So just keep subtracting 9. And that's it. So you subtract 9 and subtract 9 and subtract 9 until you get the answer. Again, the common difference, this time we're adding, is 13. Then keep adding 13 over and over again. So add 13, add 13, add 13, and add 13. Here, a decimal, but you can do this. What are we doing? It's 4.5. So keep adding 4.5. So 21 and 4.5, another 4.5, another 4.5, another 4.5. Done. Number 4. Write a rule that represents this, then use the rule to find whatever the term they're asking for. So here's a rule. So first I need to know the common difference. So the common difference here, if I look, well, first I need to know the first term. So the first term is negative 2. Then the common difference, so I'm adding 3 every time, and then it would be n minus 1. You could also write this as a linear equation, mx plus b, or use HK form of a line and you get the same answer. Now that you have that, you obviously plug in 19 and then get your answer. So 18 times 3, take away 2, and you get 52. So again, I want to know the rule. So the first term is 52. The common difference, we're going down by 8. So it's negative 8 and then n minus 1. And then I want to find the 37th term. So 37 take away 1 times negative 8, add 52, and you get negative 236. Number 6, I need to know the first term. I need to know the common difference. So again, be careful, it's negative numbers, is actually increasing, so it's positive. So it's positive 11. So the rule was you start with the first term, and then 11, and then n minus 1. Then if I want to find the 26th term, plug in 26 and then do the math, and you get 250. So again, the rule, the first term is 19.2. This one is it's decreasing, so we're going to subtract. And we're going down by 1.8. What it is? Yeah. n minus 1. And then I want to find the 51 term, so 19.2. So 51 take away 1, and then you multiply, get a big negative number, add 19.2, and you get negative 70.8. So it tells you the first term is 83, the common difference is negative 7. Can you find the 24th term? So the rule is the first term and then the common difference n minus 1. So if I want to find the 24th term, I plug 24 into here and then I get my answer. Here you're not given the first term, but there's a nice and easier way to be able to get a rule out of this. So think of this as a point. So a point could be 38 and negative 54. And think of the d like you would think of the slope being 2. And then I just write an equation in HK form. So in HK form, we take the x coordinate, in this case it would be n, and I do the opposite, the inverse inside. The slope, goes 2 in front, so let's do it again. So I'd start with the slope, then n subtract 38 minus 54. So this is like HK that goes inside. For h, you always change the sign when it goes inside, and negative, and then the slope goes in front. And then if I want to find the first term, I just plug 1 into that. It's 38. And going back, you get a big negative number, so it's negative 128. So if you don't know the first term, I just use the HK form for the rule. So here, I know that this one I need to find the common difference, so think of it as 2 points in finding slope. So you have 1 and 104, you have 33 and 328, and to find the slope or the common difference, it's the change in y over the change in x, so that's slope formula. So when I reduce that down, oh, I'm trying to find the common difference. There you go. So when you do the math on top and bottom and divide, the answer is 7. There, I can do it. It's 224 divided by 32, and that equals 7. Here, you're given the first term and the 21st term and find the 15th term. So again, I'm going to think of these as 2 points. And then I'm going to understand that to find the common difference is like finding the slope, which is the change in y over the change in x. So y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. Remember adding here. So that would be negative 30 over 20, so it's negative 3 over 2. So the rule is then, it's negative 3 over, well, let's start with the first term, so you don't need it, but it's negative 12, and then it's negative 3 over 2, n minus 1. That's still HK form, and we're just using 1 and negative 12 when I plug it in. Then to find the 15th term, and that's like negative 1.5, and then you get the answer negative 33 when you do the math. Here you're given the first term and the 21st term. So to find the common difference, you already know it's like slope. So it's y2 minus y1 and x2 minus x1. So the common difference, it goes in evenly. It's negative 6. And then to find the 41st term, we need a rule. So we have the first term, so it's 20, and it's negative 6. And then to find the 41st term, we just go 41 minus 1. And then do the math. Math is here. So it's negative 220. The answer key actually has it wrong, whoever did the answer key. 13. AN is 2,988. A1 is negative 12, and D is 100. So I know a point, which is like 1 and negative 12. I know like the slope, the D, which is 100. So the rule then would be AN equals what, negative 12 plus 100 n minus 1. That's like the HK form. It says AN is 2,980, so there it is. And then I'm just solving for n like a linear equation. So I'd add 12 to the other side. I'd divide by 100, which is easy. Just take away the zeros, so I get 30. And then add 1. So the 31st term is that. So here it says write an explicit and recursive formula for each sequence. So let's just see what we're doing here. The first term is 225. The common difference, we're going down by 7. So first the explicit one would be, we started with 225 and then we subtract 7 to every term right there. If I want to do the recursive one, I need the term before it. And what am I doing with the term before it? I'm subtracting 7. So I take the term before and I subtract 7. Oh, this goes here, this goes here. Here again, understand the first term. I'll just go down here then first of all, is negative 6.7. These are increasing. Be careful when they're negatives, but they are increasing by 1.3. So it's increasing by 1.3 and minus 1. That's explicit. Recursive, you say, okay, you take the term before, whatever it is, and you're going to add 1.3 to it. Find the indicated arithmetic means for each set. So that means like find the 4 in the middle between them. So it's like negative 357, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then negative 297, and find those that are missing. Okay, so step 1, I'm going to find the difference between them. So I'm going to go negative 297, subtract negative 357. So first of all, I'm going to do that subtracting. This is to find the common difference. What happens when I subtract them? You get 60. Then you take that answer, 60, and you count. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I take that answer and divide by how many there are there. So from here to here, I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So divide by 5. So the common difference is 12. So you're adding 12 every time. So if you add 12 every time, the ones that are missing, negative 345, negative 333, adding 12, negative 321, add 12, negative 309. So those are the 4 arithmetic means that are missing. So we have between 512 and 360, and there's 7 means to find. So let me show you another way we could do it. You can think of 512 as the first term. You can find, and then you know if there's 7 means in between, that means this one must be term 9. Because you have the first term, then 7, then one more. So that means A9 is equal to 360. So we can use that fact. So if A9 is, so the rule would be AN would be 512 and I know it's going down. Get out of here. And then you can fill in. So I know the 9th term is 360. So you can plug in 9 for N and the answer is 360. And then you can find the common difference and do it that way. I kind of like it this way better, but subtract 512 and you get negative 152, and then divide by 8, and D is equal to negative 19, and then keep subtracting 19. So from 512, so 493, 474, 455, I got a bunch of these. Subtract 9, 436, 417, 408, right? No, 19. So 398. And then the last one is 379. So 398 and then 379. Let's go back to the other way. So subtract these, 98 subtract 74, and then divide it. Now if you have 3 means, you just add 1 more to what you divide by to find the common difference. So 98 subtract 74. Or if you like, there are 5 numbers here, and so you can go 5, take away 1 to get 4, if you like, same idea. And then do the math. The common difference would be 6. And then just keep adding 6. 80, 86, 92, 98, 104. Right? What did I do? Oh, I'm just finding 3 of them. Haha. These 3. 80, 86, and 92. All right, same thing here. I'm going to subtract, and then there are 7 terms here. So 7, take away 1, that gives you that 6. So it's negative 10 over 6, negative 5 over 3 if you like. And then you keep subtracting 5 over 3 to 9. So you need common denominators to do that. So the common denominator will be 3. So instead of 9, we're going to write it as 27 over 3. There's the camera. So subtract. So 27 take away 5. 22 take away 5. 17 take away 5. I'm not going to reduce it down because then I won't have common denominators. Take away 5. And take away 5. Oh, wait a second. Take away 5 would be 12. I'm still not going to reduce it down. Take away 5 is 7. And then take away 5 is 2. That's a 12. All right, last one, a couple stories. Nathaniel counts his sprouting crops at the beginning of each day. He counts 3 new crops on the first day. So we got 3, then 9, then 15. It's an arithmetic because we're going up by 6 every time. Write an explicit and recursive formula. So an explicit one you start with 3, and we're going up by 6 every time. Recursive one, you take the one before, and you're going to add 6 every time. And there you go. #21, Amy reached the peak of her marathon training and begins a taper, which she decreases mileage each week. Tapers off. On the first week of the taper, she runs 65. Then on the next one, she runs 31, and then so on. Now, determine her weekly mileage for weeks 2, 3, and 4 if she's doing it like consistently each time. So we're told the first one. So we're finding the means in between. So we're going to go 65. We'll take 31, take away 65, and divide it by 4. That's going to give us the common difference. So how many means are we finding? Add 1 to it. It's 4. That's the easiest way to remember it. And then subtract. So it doesn't go in evenly. So it's negative 17 over 2. That's what we're doing each time. So we need common denominators. So for 65, I'm going to write it as 165 and 65. I can do that, right? 130 over 2. And I'm going to subtract. So if I subtract 17 over 2, the next one is 113 over 2. Subtract 17 again. And you get 96 over 2. Subtract again 17. And you get 79 over 2. So that's week 1, week 2, week 3 in terms of miles. All right, GMath, over. Good job doing your homework.